All right, all praise to the Most High Yahweh and to His Son, my brother, Amashiach Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters from the Israelite tribes. All right, in this video, we're going to get into the comment section. The comment section. So, uh, this is dealing with a previous comment, and I think the comment is somewhere here. Um, because this somebody did a callback. Who did the callback? You, Joel, you, Zayel, did a callback on one of the ladies. So this lady did the original statement, and I think this is dealing with Bantu people being now based either in the past and present and so on. So we are talking about population, so I often said, the Bantu population in general is a big populated group of people, and other people argue, this group and this other group of people are populated groups of people, and then they go, this group belongs here versus another group that I say belongs here, and so on, So this is dealing with, just we're gonna just help this person argument. They are trying to say the people that are populating the region at the moment via the Europeans and other people group, maybe the so-called Edomites that are dark complexion Shemitic people, and the Hamites of the region. They are trying to say all these people are bigger populations than the Bantu people, and how and why would these two people make those comments? I don't know. Most of the time, you have Wikipedia as everybody's source and so on. So it's one of those things that go, okay, well, but why would they, in general, when you understand the story of the slave trade, the moving of the people that settled from the West Coast, and they was trying to really cut back on the populace of those tribes of people. So they shifted them across the desert to East Africa and tried to move them into different parts of Eastern Europe and Asia. And then you still had a big amount of people, so or a big population of the same people. So you do like another slave trade, and you're trying to make it more radical than the one before, even though the sub-Saharan slave trade was brutal, and the percentages of the people that made it out of that was very low. So you have to make this one count. And so people knowing that history start to scatter and migrate and move before they became slaves. So you have that Bantu expansion. So for these people argument, we're gonna just say these are modern day population standards that they are trying to say, okay, white people, other European people, um, what else? Hamitic people, Edomite people. These are the populist groups along the Great Lake region, Nile Valley, Nile River region. So, is it true or false? Or are Bantu people the most populous people in that region and as well in other parts of Africa? And sometimes you go, why would people, come to this conclusion? Because their census been around for a long time. Census is in the Bible. You have other data keeper. You have DNA information. So it's like, why would they want to get into those content of um, saying certain stuff about uh, people groups? Because I'm just saying it because of certain prophecies and other common sense information. We've been in a lot of captivities, and every captivity, we tend to explode in population. So it's like, we historically have that trait of being populous people. And not just that, my people group, we have a lot of twins in our, tribes, and that's from the women eating, yam based diets. So let's get into this information. So this person is his Y-DNA is J, his mtDNA is J. So good for you. You're not a Hebrew Israelite. That's just a genetic marker. You're a newbie. That's it. Um, so this guy, because I know he has another comment. Um, so he's talking about, hey, when the article stated there was no Semitic magical DNA contribution. All it means is Hebrew men traveled there and took native wives. And I'm not gonna argue with that point. That's just basic common sense because slave trade, different wars, and civilization coming to take over different people groups around the world. What do you expect them to do most of the time if they are not traveling with massive amount of their women and people groups? So especially if they get taken into slavery, and they tend to be among the different populations like Greece and Rome and so on. So uh, I'm not, I don't know why that statement you made, but I think you are trying to attach that more so to modern day and to the Bantu expansion movement of people relocating from West Africa back across, east and south, and maybe even North Africa. So uh, that's what I'm guessing this comment is trying to make. So he has that comment, and I I don't see nothing wrong with that comment. There was another comment. So the woman, so because I'm pretty sure he piggybacked that, and I think one of his comments was pulled. Let's see that, because he was waiting for something. He made a comment, and most of the time I don't delete any of these comments. I get a kick out of reading them. And so there was something. Yeah, he was waiting for a follow up on this information. And they tend to be a lot of, because sometimes I'm not, able to reply, because sometimes the alert either go to Gmail or comes here. And YouTube is funny about these apps. They go, okay, do you want to have all your notifications sent here or there? No matter what, they're gonna be sent to Gmail. But I tend to prefer them to be sent to all three of them. And sometimes I get them here, well, and sometimes I get them on the channel. So nevertheless, it was a timing statement. And let me see something real quick. I'm gonna just go up. Somebody, and I'm sorry, it takes forever. Sometimes, I like I said, I see them or I don't. So 7 months ago, um, this person, Walkers. I'm from Ivory Coast, so what group am I in? E1B1A, Nigeria. Ivory Coast, it just depends. You are a part of that massive grouping of either Gadites, Asherites, or even Danites, because in that region you have those big groupings of people um, covering different parts and regions of West Africa by a lot. So, if you haven't done a DNA test, and if you're interested, and you know, if you have historical information about your family, tribes, and stuff, that would be helpful. And you just, do what I do. I use tribe names or people groups. I just Google search YDNA of Fente, YDNA of, you know, certain groups of people, and it'll pop up. Most of the time, there might not be information on certain small groups of people or even medium-sized group of people. Most of the time, they'll just do like an overall general population of a country. So you might just want to do YDNA information of Ivory Coast, and look at the information and look at the percentages, and you'll be able to see the E-M2 groupings and the branches if they get into the branch information of those people groups. And then you'll be able to figure out exactly who you are, what group, and so on. So I understand that. Somebody 6 months ago said turn the volume up. Well, sometimes it's my mistake. Sometimes I'm too close to the phone. Sometimes I'm too far away. Sometimes the sensitive touch of the phone turns the volume down. So sometimes it's the recording app, so there's a lot of problems with the videos. There's a lot of problem with my speech. Sometimes to where I'm too loud myself. I have to turn down my own volume because, I have neighbors, and sometimes, I'm doing videos early in the morning, and most of the time I'm doing videos early morning. So I'm pretty sure my voice reach high levels. I think I replied to this one. So reply to that one. Somebody asked about Muhammad. I'm under the understanding Muhammad was a plant because of the information from EUpedia, and whenever I get the chance to rub it into people face about that information, I do, because like uh, you have plants, so that's an interesting story in itself, and I would have to get into information about that. But yeah, this is the comment. Nice try. E1B1A is not found in the Nile River. E1B1B, Edom, and B Hamites are the haplogroup that dominates the Nile River all the way to North Africa and in parts of Europe. In parts of Europe, whew, and the Middle East, E1B1A are mostly found in East, West, Central, and South Africa. I think okay, so I think I'm gonna laugh with you. So she has laughing emojis. So I'm gonna laugh with you because like just maybe I didn't have to make this video because you already said what needed to be said. Central, East, that's basically covering. So I think this guy did like a callback on that comment because I think he was like, we're waiting. And this person is saying E1B1A here. Yeah, I wonder if that's like just an overall uh, group, because I've seen on TikTok one video of a brother that did his group, and it had like just the haplogroup. He didn't go into the branch, and sometimes it's just the haplogroup of E1B1A, and that's good enough for me. The other concern, most of the time that I often have, and that you hear me talk about um, often, is this understanding of the maternal part, and the videos that I'm putting out, I'm voicing that concern because we get into understanding the DNA information. The DNA information have to support and go along with scripture. It has to fit each other. So we have to have an understanding that we have to get close to our proper paternal and maternal grouping of people as possible to be the people of Israel. We just can't be, E1B1A, and our moms are, you know, L something and something else on the paternal side. And yes, we bear witness to these spiritual prophecies and curses, but we just have to accept other content of information to pair it with those things. And we have to, like I said before, meditate and get better at humbling ourselves to um, accepting those fates that we've been predestined to have. So that's just something that all of us have to, take into account, and as a responsible adult with what we are, consuming with information, we just have to be a realist with all this information, you know. Um, so so at least this Edomite has very close similarities with his paternal and maternal group. Jay, is there? I'm not quite sure if there's um, a J maternal group. I'm not sure. I would have to go back and look through. But other than that, you know, um, this Japhetic guy, he's you know, accurately Japhet. You know, he Japhet. You know, he's just, you know, proper with his genes. You know, there's no mixing, even though he, you know, trying to probably claim to be, you know, Israel because, you know, the Limba hoax and a lot of these J people. But at the same time, the whole irony about that hoax is this is dealing with white DNA, not the mitochondrial DNA. And I think this guy said something about the mitochondrial DNA right here. But he also made a comment about waiting, and I don't even see it no more. But we're gonna get into this comment, even though it almost like she answered the comment, and not just that, but maybe she's a part of Edom. I don't know her background, but it seemed like she probably did her DNA test and got her brother or her dad to do a DNA test, and she's E1B1B, closely related, and her mtDNA is possibly L0, L1, could be L3, you know. So she's like trying to take it out on, you know, probably me or other people. But let's get into this information. I wonder, probably said, let me get into, I'm pretty sure. Okay, here we go. Dude, it's taking you a while to count. We are waiting because I made a statement. So many ways to destroy your statement. Well, she already did it for me. But let's get into the information. And thanks and no thanks for the unity thumbs up, you know. Even though you perfectly depicted, you know, the different complexion of Japhet, you know, that's a manifestation of you knowing exactly who you are. Then this lady, it was a week ago, and she get into um what she's not two fiends. Um, let's see. I recalled. I have information on that, but at the moment I don't exactly remember what the document was talking about that. But she made a recent comment at Black Jew. So at Black Jew, that's your problem to handle. She made other comments to other people. He knows he will fail miserably. Man, this is recently. And most of the time, when people like at first, YouTube would um, notify you every time a person would comment from a statement every time on the video to another person they used to, and through the other updates, you know, they stop that they stop it, and other platform like TikTok, you know, sometimes show you other replies to other comments among the comment section, And at first on TikTok, I would just apply to everybody comment, and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking to this person. I'm being sarcastic to this person." And so, but let's get on with the information. Let's see. List of ethnic groups of Africa. And so we look at this, and we're looking at continent of Africa. This is so the region that I'm talking about is all this connected region, all this, the source of the Nile Valley River and everything are these lakes. This Great Lake region that flows throughout half of the continent. So we're just talking about Bantu. So let's look at the color bars. So this is the mapping that shows you the saturation of people group. So we get into that information. So the lady at this point is talking about Hamitic people, Berber, etc. So that's her block of people that she's claiming. So we have to take that as an understanding, and the block of people that I'm claiming are way more. So we are looking at all these Bantu people, the Bentor people, the Mende people. You have many of these people groups having split population among each other, dealing with Shemitic Israelite people. So we just go back to the chart and look at it. So you have close to the source of the Nile, you have all this green. Now, most of the people, when they are talking about the Nile River, they just automatically think the Nile River is just a river that comes out of Ethiopia into, or comes out of the Sudan, Ethiopia, and goes into Egypt, and that's it. It don't connect and do any other countries other than that. But let me show. Let's see. Or maybe let me click it. So we get up close. So we got all these countries touching these lakes. So this lake drains into that, into that. It goes up here. Let's see. Let's see. You have Tonga, malaria. You have Tanzania. Yeah, Zambia. Yeah, Zambia. You have Burundi. You have I want to say, so I want to get, let's see, you have Burundi, um, Rwanda, Rwanda, Uganda. You have what else? I'm trying to be correct with the countries because I know DRC and Congo and all these other places changed their Central African Republic. They changed. So nevertheless, that this river is still flowing into different lakes. Still is a river. It goes into um, what's this? After Uganda, it touches what was known as Zaire, parts of Zaire. Then you have the Sudan, I believe they call it the South Sudan. So before you get to the Sudan, you have the South Sudan. You have the White Nile, the Blue Nile. That touches, Ethiopia, and then the remaining parts of the Sudan, and then it goes into Egypt. So this is the the part that she's trying to claim. So all this is we're gonna give that woman and the guy the benefit of doubt. They are taking up a good amount of that region. These are the bars, the color code, and then you have Hamitic, the real Hamitic people, the Dinka, the Nura. So these are Hamitic people. These are the people that was originally living in this region and in the Middle East region as nomads. They settled, made a civilization in this region. The Most High kicked them out of this, put them down into the bottom part because the Most High sent several civilizations and empires against Egypt to make it less and least powerful. And then after the Sudan region, once you get into Uganda and Rwanda and all the other parts, the information just shows nothing but Bantu, not even the Bantoids. We are just talking about Bantu people, like pure hardcore Bantu groupings of people. So we exit out this. Go back to go back to this. So as you can see, that's just one part, and so we go, okay, we're gonna help these people with their argument. How everybody remember the American election cycle and how the Republicans and Democrats was talking about rural population versus urban population, and you have this argument. You have dense population within urban setting versus rule. So you have like color charts like this saying, okay, people are living here and that, there and this, but there's actually more cattle living in those regions versus dense population of people. So um, it's just a representation of blocks of people living in a region, not dense population living in a region. So I'm not gonna be mad or angry at a person for misreading a graph or a chart, but this is the understanding that we have to have when we see those information and this information. So the election was one on urbanized areas, urban areas in the Americas was um, trending towards liberal habits, and for Trump to win, he would have to have half of those percentages of people in those urban areas to vote for him, plus the rural groups of people to overwhelmingly vote for him, which they did. But the split 50-50 of urban areas didn't vote his way. You had percentages like 20 to 30, and you just can't cut it that close if you have new voters and other people that are jumping parties to vote for Biden. So we take the similar comparison to that, so you have people in places. So but the question is, are these regions sustainable, especially with the Hamites being in that South Sudan? Like, they are durable people, and Edom. When everybody come to the understanding that Edom is a dark complexion group of people, these are sustainable groups of people in those regions, but a high populated grouping of people in those regions, it's not sustainable in modern day. The food capacity is purposely shortened in sustainable region like here in America and Central America and other parts. People are living off of small percentages of domestic food product versus them getting food from other countries. So we have to think about that. The big thing here in Texas is local grown, but local grown is also accepting food from Mexico. Like my company is a huge company in Texas, and they tend to have just as many facilities of growing and retailing and vendors in Mexico as they do in Texas. And a lot of times they just use mostly products from Mexico because it's just cheaper. Organics and other products is just cheaper, and local grown is just is just one of those marketing titles to where you go, okay, you're more or less likely to get a, a bacteria outbreak from this sampling of food versus other food. And we had that recently when California had an outbreak with one of the lettuce, either spinach or romaine. And our company, the company that I work for, stopped the selling and the buying of romaine or spinach altogether because they wanted to make sure that distributors wasn't or vendors wasn't buying other market or other state products to sell to cover their the CYA themselves to make bigger profits and so on. So just because you buy from a vendor, the vendor don't have to disclose to you exactly where and how they get the product. They have it, they show it to you on the website or via a catalog, and you buy it, and it's up to you from your understanding of the food to use it. And if you're gonna use it, you gotta be careful because you are liable for any debts and lawsuit or health problems via customers or workers. So our company tend to um, not really buy anything from California. It's a heavily Texas-based company, and it's either Texas or Mexico or out of the country. Period. So I don't even know how I got to this point on food, but yeah, oh yeah, the election and everything. So let's just get into the information that is dealing with the population. So this is that, and we go back to the Google search, and yeah, Bantu people. Is that? I think it's this one. Here we go. So now we are getting into the meat and potato of the answer and the information. So the lady was right. Look at this. You have all these people groups as Bantu, a massive group of people. But this is just a spread out group of amount of people. Who knows what this map and chart is representing. So we just scroll down, and they do like some numbers. So we go, okay, what about percentages? We need hardcore information. I think it's in here. Okay, here we go. So now we get into census and other number stats, and I guess I just scroll down the page, and I would try to help their argument as best as I can, but I'm gonna let the numbers speak for itself. So these are Bantu groups. So notice these 80%. There's these numbers. So you have 80%. You have 76, 77. Remember, these are 2015 population. These are one is saying total population, and one is dealing with Bantu population. And the middle part is telling you most likely what percentage of the population is Bantu. So I might just scroll down. Try to find. So as you can see, we have some now valley groups. or Great Lake groups of people. Um, see the percentages. Now, all these are Bantu people groups. So we have 970, 907 70 million people that are on the continent or in this people group arrangement versus 360, 37%. So that's cool and all. So we scroll up. Just scroll up. Because the thing is, a lot of this is dealing with the source. And that's why I often say the things I say about the Great Lake region, about us being sourced E1B1A grouping of people that been living in the region for a long time. You know, that's the whole understanding of the greater Levant, even though a lot of people go, the Levant is made up word, the Garden of Eden, so on. Well, these things are connected. These are areas that Shemitic Hebrew Israelites lived in for a long time. That's where we are birthed in the region. We are constantly doing labor and slavery in the region, and we start to create generations of people in the region versus the Hamitic people, the Edomite people, being nomadic groups of people that are supposedly from the same group of people. These are people that say they are also people that were in Europe, the same people that said that they, went to the Americas. So we have to go, okay, well, if these are the same people, maybe not the Edomites going to the Americas, but the Hamitic people saying, we're the Olmecs and or the Phoenician people, and we've been going back and forth. Well, in general, when you understand DNA, you wouldn't be, you know, um, source from that region. You would be source outside of that point of understanding because you've been nomadic people. If y'all would have just settled, you know, you should have just settled in the Iraq region. You just should have just won those battles in so-called Palestine, and you would be, there for so many years to where you are those people, but you wasn't. The Most High didn't see fit for that to be the purpose of your race of people. Therefore, this is where DNA just say, hey, this is the information. So you have, um, let's see, Tanzania, 95%. Uganda, 80%. So you have 45. You have 37. Or, yeah, 37. Well, what I'm looking at. Tanzania. I couldn't remember if Kenya. Let's see. Do Kenya touch the Great Lakes? Yes, it does. Okay. So, so a lot of this information is just, I'm gonna just leave it up to people to decide. So you have Tanzania, you have Uganda, Malawi, I believe Zimbabwe, Burundi. All these people or groups of people are touching and living in the region of the Great Lakes and Nile River. So you have at least somewhere at 100 million. Let's just say 100 million. Let's see. Now we are in this North African format. This is dealing with the other half of the information. Let's see what they give us. People groups. Where's the population stats? They just leave it to this. Well, I could probably do one better. Let me go back to this. Um, Let me do this. Go here. We can find out real quick on this. Okay. Dinka. Dinka, South Sudan. These are Hamitic people. That many million. This is Nile River. Probably should have done this before. Let's see. Probably should, yeah, just show all these Ethiopian groups. I want y'all to do the math. Let's see if it shows the population. So this is Ethiopia present day estimation. So I probably don't have to do Ethiopia again. So we had Ethiopia, the Dinka from the Sudan. We need something from Egypt. Where's Egypt? Where's the white people of Egypt? Let's do this. More Dinka people. Are they? No. Let's see. The Arabs of the Sudan. This would be Berber classification of people. Let's see. How many millions of people do they have? 44. 33rd. Let's see. Nura. These are also people groups of the now. 2 million. Okay. So I hope y'all are keeping count with the information. Oh, I'm done. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I get these groupings of countries because many of these tribes are split tribes of different groups of people, as you can see. But yeah, we could just do it like via country and see. I wanted to find something dealing with Egypt. Can't remember which one was Egypt. Thought it was like a Coptic, but that might be because there's a Near East grouping of information, and they tend to put Egypt in the Maghreb, and the Maghreb is just North Africa and the Near East region together. So they are really trying to make it to where all the deserts are uh, sustainable regions for white people, and you have white people supporting this claim, and you have Edomites and Hamites supporting the white people claim, um, and them being in the region. And hey, guess what? Hey, y'all can have the desert. The argument is the Nile Valley region, the Great Lakes, the White Nile, the Blue Nile. Those are the regions, the valley. So I guess at a search, um, YDA, look at my information. YDA, PubMed, yeah. eBay, Disney. Some of this stuff is not my booking. Okay, YDA near East. Here we go. We look at the table. Alright, now we get into the Egypt. So this is Egypt overall population. I guess we could go with that. I get. Let me do this real quick. Go with that. Do this real quick. And it don't say anything about people living in the region. A lot of these people are living outside the region with descendants of Arabs, and all the Arabs are Ottoman Turks, and they're just trying to say, okay, we mix with all these people, you gotta call us Arabs, when most of the time, they're just Ottoman Turks versus the cover up of the Berber people being the actual Edomites, and that's where many Israelites get their confusion about the Arabs being Edom. And I technically go, okay, but Bedouin white people that travel nomadically in the Maghreb and Near East region with the clothing that they have on to protect them from the sun ray is these are people that obviously are not Ishmaelites. They are Japhites most of the time. So um, some Israelites subscribe to those people being Ishmaelites rather than Japhites. And when you get into a deeper understanding, you find out that um, the Berbers, the people that are saying literally they are Berbers, are Edom, not the mixed race of people that are trying to hide in the desert. So let me see if I can find Egypt. Egypt. We're looking for Egypt. So it don't say how many people they have in the region of the Nile. I would have to do some more research on that, or maybe it does. Okay, the total number of Arab speaking living in the Arab nations. Well, this is not what we are talking about. We are just talking about um, people group living in the Nile Valley. But as you can see, as you can see, technically I'm still right because she's talking about E1B1B groupings of people and Hamitic people, and so I'm okay with Japhetic people being, populist people. Okay, now we're cooking with gasoline. Egypt, uh, still, I guess we could take that. It's 90%. So let's use her logic, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna just be Japhetic people making up most of the population, and not E1B1B or A or B. So let's get into that information. So we have on this chart they're going, okay, we have two E groups, E1B1B, two E1B1B groups. So two groups of Edomites. They doing their things with trying to have all these groups of people fit into history, and they go, hey, if these complexion types are getting weird and starting to look funny in this study, we just put this other group of E1B1B in parentheses, and the other group, as a normal group, but it's dealing with the branches and everything. So if they don't want to go into detail branches about the haplogroup of E1B1B, that's fine. Who cares that they're trying to hide pale complexion people? But let's see, all of these are dealing with Egypt. The first two groups, Edom. So look at Edom, and then look at Japhet. As you can see, the J. So the percentages are split, you know, in the majority of Egypt, or Edom. But I like on here, there's no Hamitic group on here. Egypt, Iraq, uh, Syria, these are places that Hamitic people used to live in. There's no A or B groupings of people. Is Libya? I wonder, is Libya? Because remember, Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a Edomite from the information I was getting together from the people group he came from. And he was executing dark complexion people in that region. And let me see if Libya is on here. No, no, Libya. Samaritan Levites, 100% A1B1B. It's comical. Then you have the Ashkenazi people. I just had an epiphany. If these people right here, the Samaritans, are Levitical, what place? Levitical Levites. And there's only 840 of them. If that's the case, why did they even bother using the Limba people for their hoax? Edom, Edom, Edom. Who else has 100%? Sorry to get off topic, but who else has a high percentage? Shemitic, yeah, that's about it. 82% of what? Yemen, Japhetic people. So the J group, they have claim to regions, but the problem is, okay, you want to have the Levant region. The only problem is your DNA, even though you are in Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Iraq, Yemen, all the UAE, all these countries. You have a blueprint based in a whole nother region. In Egypt is closer to Israel than the Caucasus Mountains. So you're not your beginning group, according to the way you are directing this science to make people say, you're trying to do this, do that. Your G group, the Pelis, G and I, these are the groups of people that's supposed to be the Pelis, besides the Asian groupings of Japhet. These are the Pelis groups of people. Your G and your I. Especially the I, these are the Scandinavian groups of people. So, look at this, okay? So this is that whole concept that they want to try to use when they evolved out of Africa. Now, I'm not talking about the cradle of civilization in the Middle East or the Near East region. I'm talking about when they are saying that these people are from deep in Africa and these jungle areas. These people are trying to use that same method and concept of evolution of saying, okay, our pale group of people went so far in a region and then stopped. They mutated and they start to get into a different complexion shade of being in that capacity and that environment. And once that happened, another generation of people evolved to move along into these other unsustainable environments to create heavy populations of people and to move on into another generational setting of people and everything. So that's the argument that they want to try to use for this J group of being in the region that they are trying to say is theirs. And they could claim it like if they want to have it so bad, you could have it. It's just gonna be taken away, and not just that, but a lot of y'all are just gonna relocate to China for some odd reason for protection, and to South Africa, because those are the two places that y'all are building up redoubts, you know. Um, Other than that, South Africa has a bit desert in it as well, so it's one of those things to where why do Japhetic people even try to put up this front? You have a lot of articles about the explosion in cancer, so you're telling me that cancer is plaguing you now and it didn't plague you before, and the whole concept of your DNA structure of these groups and then these branches from the same race of people going into different haplogroups are creating you were supposed to be immune to this plague of sunlight, even though after certain points you start to turn back into a pale group of people. So population wise, so I'm gonna do this. I'm a reasonable person. I'm a fair person to admit if I'm wrong or not, if I'm right, so on. So according to those stats, let everybody do their own math and everything. But hey, if you're saying this is the case, even though your statement says something else about me being right to begin with, and the video is talking about how populated Bantu people are in the Nile River Valley or in Africa, and if the people group that you're putting up is more populated than what I'm talking about, you won. I'm sad right about now. I can't believe a heathen beat me with information that I should have saw coming. I'm sorry. I had high hopes in this beginning parts of this video, and you just shut me out and put me down. And now there's no way I can make a comeback from being wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong with this information. This is information that is current and steadily being updated. So it's no big deal to me, and not just that, but I was surprised to see in the Wikipedia stats, live population stats, because like in the charts that you saw before, you saw 2016 population stats, and when it was going into demographics or people group information, it was saying 2021. So whatever the math is, on that, you can have it. I even throw in the E1A groups of people. You can have E1A, you have E2 people as well to build up that buffer zone of resistance. And don't be shocked if history repeats itself with a smaller armed forces of people claiming territory to overthrow, other people that are in the region that claim they've been there. Don't be surprised if another 7-day war happened and all those people you claim to be the rightful owner of that region ends up, homeless for the time being. So you gotta accept that, and I will accept my defeat, and but I will look forward to the overwhelming response of power and pure strength of my people, taking back whatever region and area you are claiming to be yours. We will take it back, and we'll be sure to remember and to acknowledge that your people was greater in number, as is China and other people groups, and we'll just say, hey, population is a thing, to where you could compare it to size. Does size matter? Not really, if you know how to take advantage of your best attributes and abilities. Size don't matter. Same thing with population. If you have a big population of people that don't know who they are but conspire to take other people's identity and land and everything else, and they are trying to sustain that lie and live the way they are living and not be 100% aware of the content that they are dealing with, because like most of the time, a lot of Bantu people, they either do get malaria or they don't get malaria. But outside of those people group, over a overwhelming amount of people in different groups outside of the Bantu group of people, they get malaria instantly. So we will look forward to the meet and greet and warfare, and we'll see which groups of people will sustain themselves in that region before, during, and after the warfare. And that's the best I could do with this video, with answering if I'm I'm right or if you wrong or if you're right and I'm wrong. So I already accepted, me being wrong, even though I thought I was right at the beginning, and you busted my bubble. My balloon is empty with no air and no hope, and now I must recover, and hopefully I could do so because I have other videos to make about DNA information. But this was a nice comment, and I'm pretty sure you Sal, you saw was waiting for this, and hopefully it could get peace and comfort with this video because I lost, and you know this is my loss alone. This is not the Most High loss. This is just a individual error and not wanting to listen to concerning minds and thoughts about certain things, and y'all have way more people than um, I assume, and assuming is the mother of all AWSs, and you assume and you get what you get coming from behind, and pause and know you know what, but that's just the way things go, and I just gotta better understand these comments, so I gave all y'all the benefit of the doubt, and now, you know, I'm living with that decision. So, yeah, most of the comments are decent. Thank you for doing that for me. Thank you for keeping all these comments according to guidelines. Yeah, and here you go. You're not waiting too much longer. And sometimes I just laugh at that. He knows he will fail miserably. Yes, I did. Yeah, you're right. Come back. No one said E1B1B or Shemitic. We we don't know. Well, we don't want to be Shemitic. Well, I'm sorry. You are. You are the other half, or you one of the groupings of people among the Abrahamic groups of Shemitic people that are, Shemitic. If you are a part of that DNA pool of E1B1B, L3, E1B1B, you are, Edom. I'm sorry, and then E1B1A and L2 is dealing with Israelite men and women, and then um, E1A, L1 is dealing with Ishmaelite people groups. So I'm sorry to do that to y'all, about the information. Uh, you do realize that E1B1A and E1B1B, most common ancestor live for the, and they can be and are completely different. Well, that what that why I consistently tell people, because this is what that those protein counts are for. Um, it just becomes different when people start to see the complexion types of these groups of people, and you start to go WF or WTF, Einstein, these people, these other people, all these famous people, like I show on EUpedia, these are pale complexion people. Well, it's because, those people, those Edomites, he was like, oh, let's become, these Idumeans and these other Greek people. Let's go here. Let's change our complexion. Let's mix with those women. Let's become Albanians and Southern Greek people in Europe, while leaving all these other people to become Arabs and cover ups for Psalms 83. So that's good for them. But now DNA is showing, the information to be, okay, um, you have nowhere to hide, So uh, all y'all want to hide in the Now Valley, go ahead, just do it, like Nike said. Just do it, and we'll just be there to confiscate the land, and that's all, So was there anything else? That's about it. Once again, I just want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh and to His Son, my brother, Amashiach Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters from the Israelite tribes. Once again, thank you for the views. Thank you for the comments. Like always, I will try my best to get to them. And like always, I'll change my mind. Before I didn't want to do comments, and now I'm doing comments, and I'm not good at comments, but I want to hear, my voice, and I want to think an answer through and be wrong on my own, and there's nothing wrong with that. So uh, I enjoyed this. So once again, thank y'all for all of that. So with that, I must end this video and look into starting another video because people are waiting for content. So peace and thank y'all.